Hey everybody, welcome to the Tesla Life, episode 22 for September 27th, 2017. My name is Russell Frost, and I am very happy to be here. Thank you for being here. And let's introduce this week's panelists and go on from there. My main man, the only person who... No, I can't say that. He's just a really good guy, Mark Cotton.
Thanks for constraining yourself. That was really appreciated. I didn't know what was going to end up coming out.
Me either, thanks.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, every once in a while I do the right thing. It's really weird. And next to him, our friend with a couple of Teslas in the driveway and a couple of Teslas on order. He's pointing which way, we don't know, but I like to call him Dr. Evan Fusco.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here. You'll notice that Tony Schaefer is not here tonight because he's sitting at home hoping his Cubs beat my Cardinals and clinch the NL Central tonight.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, I'm sure that's what he's doing.
Oh, that's just sad. That's just sad. Let's have a little cry for Tony. Okay. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't have a dog in the fight. I really don't like the Cardinals or the Cubs. So,
they don't like you either.
You know what? That's part of the Cardinals have told me. They've been very frank with me how much they don't like me. The hell with them. Let's get started. We got some cool stuff to talk about this week, and I think Mark has the first story.
I do. There was a recent story that came out just recently with the Model 3, oddly enough, that had a video placed on YouTube, and you're going to show the other one. Okay, let's do this.
Is that the wrong one?
No, we're going with this. This is a video of a race that happened recently. Motor Trend got together a bunch of hot cars, put them on an airstrip, and had a quarter-mile race. I believe it was 11 wide. And was at this Air Force base. Very cool. As they and price was no option on these cars. Yeah. So we've got McLarens, we got Porsche, we got everything you can think of. And at the last moment, they decide that they're going to roll in, as they call it, a four-door sedan. And it turns out to be a white P100D. And they put the cars in a lineup and let them rip. And Russell, you may want to just forward the video a little bit, maybe to about halfway or almost. Yeah,
because this is boring right now.
Yeah.
So there's the white sedan.
Yeah, the white sedan that was added. And here we go, 911 turbo. Nice. And the Godzilla, as they call it. Yeah.
So do they all race at once, or did they
all at once? Yeah.
Wow.
So here they are. Here they are, all lined up.
Yeah.
On an airstrip, and they just let it go for a quarter mile.
Am I a horrible person for hoping for a crash?
I know the insurance company watching it is hoping not for a crash. But,
yeah. Right.
Yeah. So away they go, the Ferrari, the Porsche, everything.
Yeah, the Porsche and the...
And what a cool way to do it. Like all at once, lined up, and you can see them. They're playing with the editing to see things are getting closer. They're not close.
Yeah.
But really, we're going to know who's going to win here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in the quarter mile, it's the white car. And amazing how they got all different color cars too, like orchestrated that way.
Oh, there's a couple whites, yeah.
Oh, dramatic, yeah, right. Maybe not.
So we had that, and of course they did preface it with if they had gone half a mile, the McLaren would have overtaken it, and the Porsche probably would have overtaken it as well. But you can see from the snapshot at the end, the Model S beat them all.
Yeah. Right.
And in a mile, it would have lost all of them. I mean, it would.
I just don't Yeah, this is. Can I mean, not that it's not cool, and it's
eye candy. That's what this is.
Right.
It's a fun way to spend a couple minutes watching a video.
Sure.
Like you think about the cost of those cars lined up there. Like, the McLaren is, I don't know what ungodly amount, along with, the P100D is no slouch either, but you're talking cars that easily are in six figures, if not approaching seven in some cases.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, the couple hundred thousand, 60,000. No idea. 160. No idea.
Yeah, so you got seven figures out there on a runway going toe to toe, and like you said, you're hoping for a crash.
Well, I mean, just because it's in a way, it's kind of
that would be exciting. Yes, it would. Yeah,
they start ping ponging off each other.
Like 12 cars, going down a runway. So.
Yeah, so that's a little PR that Motor Trend put out earlier this week.
Not the most safe racing strategy.
Yeah, exactly. But fun to watch.
Absolutely. All of these races have been done before. And it's always the same. In the quarter, the Tesla's the fastest, and then somebody with $1 million McLaren says, well, I beat your ass in a half mile, or the Hellcat says, well, I beat your ass in a 10 mile or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's
they all have their different abilities and are able to win in different scenarios.
Sure.
And I just we have short memories, and we forget that it really wasn't very long ago that there's no replacement for displacement was the catchphrase of the day. And you know what? There is a replacement for displacement. And the technology is there to start putting internal combustion engines the way of black and white film. It's going to be a slower transition than film to digital was, but it's going to happen. And there hopefully, I hope the internal combustion engine is around for a very long time. I think they're amazing, fun, noisy things, but for the vast majority of uses for personal transportation, it's time for it to go away.
Yeah, does not cut it anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, and someday we'll be talking about there's no replacement for kilowatt hours. There's no replacement for ampere.
No replacement for amps.
Right. It sounds silly now, but you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's still fun. And I'm not really sure. I guess they just needed the Air Force for the runway, huh?
That's it.
Probably.
They needed a wide space to as you mentioned, keep the insurance companies happy.
Yeah. On that little one, huh?
You're gonna do what with this car?
You're gonna put how many cars on one?
You're putting what, $4 million worth of cars in a runway, and you're going to go hell-bent for leather and see who can win? Are you lost your minds?
I tell you though, some of the roads around Atlanta would have been more than wide enough for that.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to the next story. We've got a story about the Tesla touchscreen.
Yeah, this was interesting that happened earlier this week. There was a car that was put into a detailing shop in, where was it? I don't know where.
I don't somewhere near Fremont.
Fremont. It was near Fremont. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And this detailing shop called OCD Detailing, strangely enough, the owner of the shop, Joe, made a couple of videos with Model 3 and posted them on YouTube, which was kind of shocking because we're not seeing that many videos at all of owner cars, except if you're a flamboyant investor. We're not seeing anything at all. So this Joe gentleman who owns the OCD Detailing put a couple of videos up of him around the Model 3, and then recently jumped in onto the center console screen and started to film what he could do. So I have no idea if Tesla is looking at this as why is this guy breaking possibly an NDA that the owner of the car has? Does the owner not know this is going on? We don't know, but there is a link that's been posted, and I think in the past Tesla has taken these down or asked them to be taken down, but at the time of this show, this one is still up and running. So you can take a look and see kind of the cool features of the center screen and the interaction of Joe, the owner, playing around with it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't know. Does it? Oh, there we go. There's some more controls, display, exterior lights, locks. Evan, does this look just like what you have?
The layout's a little different, but the options are pretty much the same. They're just kind of organized a little bit differently. Oh, interesting. The glove box button down there. That's cool. So is there no external glove box button?
No, there's no button on the glove box.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Had not noticed that.
Kind of interesting that this guy Joe has been posting what he's doing with his car, and I don't know if the car was brought in for maybe a wrap or what's going on, but
he was tinting the window.
Joe is using it to the maximum of his enjoyment here.
Yeah, he was cleaning it and tinting the window. I did watch some of the other videos that he did.
I'm sure he wasn't under any NDA, and
yeah, like this could be really problematic, I would imagine, for the owner of the car. Would you not agree, Evan?
Yeah, if they can identify who the owner is.
Right. And even then, I mean, all the owner has to go is like, dude, I dropped the car off there to be detailed. I didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, plausible deniability, right?
Right, absolutely.
Like this is this is shocking. Like that, none of this has happened previously. In fact, I'll kind of segue to another story. There was a gentleman in Texas that received the Model 3, and it was put inside the showroom, the Tesla showroom, to be given to him. And his friend started to videotape it and walked around the car and asked the sales rep, one of the other sales reps, "Well, what VIN number is this?" And he heard clear as day, this is 259. And it's like, boom, all of a sudden the VIN number has been released over YouTube. They know whose car it is. And then, of course, mysteriously, the next that afternoon, video's gone. So obviously number 259 got a call and said, get that video off of YouTube.
I wonder how long they're going to keep playing that game, though.
Well, it's got to be because of like we've said, there is a small amount of people that have it, and most of them are employees at this point or investors, and they can really hold their feet to the fire and keep it under wraps. But my question is, why? Is there things that they're concerned about? They just don't want it filmed. Obviously they're still fine tuning. They're still making changes then. I'm guessing that they don't want any of this out there.
Right. Yeah. And certainly, when I guess we could segue into my article from there. There are definitely still some issues going on. I'm stealing your thunder here, Russ, but the next article comes from Seeking Alpha, which normally I actively avoid, but this article makes some interesting points that are worth pondering. Though I think with a very large grain of salt on taking any of it as factual. But they are speculating that there are significant issues with the Model 3 and questioning whether it's truly in production yet, or if they're really still basically hand building these machines, given what they described as anemic rollout of the vehicle. And if we're seeing VIN 259 in Texas is all that's come out since the initial reveal, that does suggest that they're not coming very fast. They've also said that there have been a few people that have supposedly posted pictures of the production line that are showing essentially no vehicles on the production line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but now nobody really knows if those photos are real or what they mean or who took them or is it really the production line. So there's a lot of questions going on about that. But they do make some points that there are quite a few features that aren't turned on yet that are raising questions of if things are really ready. The rain sensing wipers, even, which you would think would be a pretty basic kind of thing at this point. They've got them on the Model S. They've got them on the Model X. How much more complicated can that be? But apparently they're still not working at this point or haven't been turned on for some reason. Wi-Fi is still not working. Apparently people are having issues still with regular radio. The connection between the phone and the car's media system isn't working just yet. And some question of whether there's some issues with the 12-volt battery and the display screen not being quite up to snuff as far as its touch sensitivity and things like that. And then there was also until just a couple days ago, they hadn't even turned on the app for the Model 3 and made it available, though the last update that I got after iOS 11 said that there is Model 3 functionality built in. Now, I don't know if that means it's turned on, and it did take a while for a lot of us to get, even when we got our Model X, I don't believe we could immediately use the app on the Model X. I think there was a bit of a delay in turning it on there while they tested functionality things. So, they raise some questions, and maybe they're good questions, maybe they're not. Maybe we're gonna have to wait and find out. But there are definitely some functional issues that don't seem to be quite right with the vehicle at this point, and it's maybe part of what's causing the delay in rollout. And if there are paint issues, as somebody was suggesting previously, that may be another thing that has to be tweaked. And building a car is a complicated process. It's certainly not easy. There are thousands and thousands of little bits that have to be just right, or you're going to call your car a lemon when it hits your driveway. This is brand new road, and so there very well may be some additional delays, and that may be part of the reason Tesla's trying to keep things quiet for now and not point out all the flaws that are still in place.
Well, this is part of production hell, right? Like this is what we were promised, that there would be a hell to go through. And I believe Elon's quote was, when you're going through hell, the only thing you don't do is stop.
Right.
You try to get out the other side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. I mean, Elon is certainly not a shy person. He's a very visible, very active in social media, and he makes a lot of claims. So is there would it be the right thing for Elon to come out and go, okay, here's what's going on? Or do they just keep enforcing the NDA and keep things quiet and pump out a few cars a week until they get this figured out?
I believe there's going to be a reckoning at some point, but I believe he's got time. I believe that he's got extra time, but when the stock market starts asking questions, things start to compile really quickly at that point. But I think that Elon has got time to hopefully iron out some of these issues.
And as the Seeking Alpha article points out, that they feel like Tesla's likely to miss their Q3 Model 3 production guidance, which is going to deliver a pretty good hit to the stock. And I think what Elon doesn't want to come out and do is confirm that earlier than absolutely necessary. He's got, this is a publicly traded company now, and so he's got a lot of other things to think about, and that he doesn't want to adversely manipulate the stock until absolutely necessary, obviously.
Well, okay, I'll leave it at that. Let's.
Well, let me segue again and take you completely out of the loop, Russell. I'm feeling like we're not going to need you anymore at all after today. So one other potential cause for some of the delays is this next CNBC article that Tesla may be switching from the NVIDIA chip to Intel, and obviously that's for the infotainment system, and so there's certainly a possibility that if the story is accurate, that could be one more contributing factor to the delays if they're trying to get this business all up and going.
How could they not have that? That should have been put to bed a year ago.
Yeah,
they can't possibly be changing it now in production. And I mean, whether you go with Intel or NVIDIA, they're both, obviously incredibly big, incredibly popular chip makers. It's just odd that
circumstance might have changed their minds. It's once you get these cars rolling out in a larger volume, you really figure out what parts are working together and what are not.
Right. And so if the touch screen issues are related to the chip, maybe that's the problem that they didn't know until they were in production, and they said, look, your chip's not up to snuff. It's not able to do the job.
Yeah, but you wouldn't again, I guess it seems grossly irresponsible that you wouldn't test something like that beforehand. That you wouldn't have no idea that, hey, guess what? The touchscreen isn't so cool.
Yeah.
Like that NVIDIA chip sucks. Oh, well, we better get a different one.
It also could have been assurances from the supplier saying the test units that we sent you are, yes, exactly the same. And then you find out that the production ones aren't quite the same chip.
Well, that's kind of weird. But the other thing that's sort of weird about this article is it said something about, did it say that somebody's stock was up slightly because of that? And that's ridiculous. Tesla's not buying anywhere near enough chips to impact either one of these enormous companies. Even if they were buying 50,000 chips a month, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because these chips are used in computers and laptops and everything else. Yeah,
absolutely. There's just no way. I mean, that's just pad in the article. Sorry. Well, I mean, how many iPhones?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a business. Thing. So you got to say something about stock or you don't qualify.
Oh, is that what it is? That's okay. Well, I mean, and it does say that NVIDIA is still currently supplying chips for the autopilot. So it's kind of weird that they would dump them.
Yeah.
Intel for one chip, and I don't know. That's
that is strange. It's going to have to come out in the wash as to what's going on, but it is kind of bizarre. And like you said, you shouldn't have gotten this far at this point and discover this now.
Yeah, in theory.
Maybe
they're pushing their timelines too hard, and once they got all the pieces and parts put together and saw the drag on the chip and saw it couldn't handle it. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. It's gonna be interesting to see what comes out there. Now, since Russell has decided to be real quiet and not respond anymore, we're just going to push on, and hopefully he can join us later. But the next story I had was about kind of linked to the first couple stories as well as and Evan's infotainment system is that a Tesla was filmed, and I think it was from the film footage from the Texas delivery, that Model 3, apparently as the salesperson or what did they call them, salespeople, Evan? Or the consultants?
Oh, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, representatives, whatever. They were going over with the gentleman who bought the car. They were going over the different options that were available to him on his touch screen. So hey, he's back.
Hey,
did I disappear? Because all of a sudden you guys froze.
Yeah, you were froze.
You were gone.
Nice.
So we moved on to the next story.
Thank you.
So we allowed this gentleman was being shown the different options that were in his Model 3, and the guy that was filming it was showing that as the representative was telling him what was available, that there was no AM or FM radio. There was no music over USB.
No
and these things were missing. Now, obviously, these could be some of those glitches that are going on that they're concerned about. And they could certainly update them whenever they want with the over-the-air update ability that Tesla uses quite well and quite often, which is fantastic. But there was a few comments of people saying, well, you know what? Maybe that's part of the reason that they pulled it as whether it was going to be Car of the Year or not. They didn't send in the application. That might have been another part of it. But maybe not. Maybe that's just speculation. But it was interesting to see that FM radio was not working out of the box.
USB. You can't plug your phone into USB and get it. I mean, that's like a basic function.
It is basic these days. Absolutely.
Yeah.
FM radio, though? What's involved in that?
This makes me think that things might be a little out of control in Fremont.
Maybe.
There's certainly indications that people, and of course, you know, Tesla is operating in this artificial vacuum, and we owners, we individuals that have reservations, the public that are extremely interested in this company, we're operating in that same vacuum, and people are grasping at any bit of information or detail that they get their hands on, which kind of intensifies the magnifying glass on this entire situation, rightly or wrongly.
Absolutely. No, I mean, again, you've got somebody like Elon who's been very visible and very confident about what he's going to do. And now you see the stumbling, and there's not a lot of talk, and there's just videos that are pulled from, whatever. And you see these stories come up, and I have to wonder, like, if there isn't a better way to address them than just silence.
Yeah.
If you don't go, hey, you know what? We've only delivered 300 cars, and it's been a test. It's gone slower than we want, but we're working out the problems, and we feel confident that, well, we've screwed the pooch in Q3. We're going to be better off in Q4. Okay.
I got to believe that's coming. That will come. But as Evan has mentioned, maybe he'll take the extra time that he's got and can remain silent a little bit longer. And he's quite happy to do so because he knows he's going to have to face the music at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, look, and if you're in his shoes, do you want to come out and say, well, the wipers aren't working and the FM's not working and the USB's not working and this is, or do you want to wait and be the guy that comes out? We're glad to announce that starting tomorrow, we're going to activate auto wipers, the FM radio, the USB, and turn on this functionality. In addition, unexpectedly, we're going to add this new feature that we didn't even tell you about before. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's big time positive Tesla news instead of, Elon just announced functionality issues of the Model 3. I mean, you gotta spin it.
Can I complain about something with this too? Because I know I don't usually complain on the show.
Really? You're going to complain about something?
I'm going to complain. So,
hit the record button.
This is CNET Roadshow, and here's the headline. Quote, Tesla Model 3 audio capabilities initially limited. Updates coming. Unquote. How about shit don't work? Honestly, this isn't about like unlocking an extra 10% of range for people in a disaster. This isn't about like making the stereo louder. This is about the whole thing doesn't work. No AM, FM, no phone, no USB, no Bluetooth. What capabilities? That's some crappy reporting. And I get it. You know what? The CNET people want to be invited to the next Tesla.
Yeah, that's certainly part of it.
And to me, that says worse things about CNET than it does about Tesla. Maybe both. I think it's appalling. I mean, honestly, if you can't talk about something like this in an open and reasonable manner, not like you have to pretend it's like just updates coming. What do you mean updates? This stuff doesn't work. You mean it's a fix?
They're not yet activated, Russell.
Yeah, they're not yet activated. Yeah. Hey, here's your brand new $60,000 car. We'll be activating the AM, FM radio, the phone, the USB, and the Bluetooth later on.
Later on.
Yeah.
Well, you got so many other cool things to play with. You probably won't be listening to the radio anyways.
Like, I mean, I guess if you like driving quietly to work, that's awesome. But I mean, how sad is it like driving down the road in your Model 3 to work and you're listening to the phone through the speakers in your phone and you're like, I'm rocking out, man. This is awesome. That's pathetic.
Yes, it's been painted in that way. Yes.
Yeah.
I certainly agree. But again, this is part of production hell. And certainly, if we were talking about this pre-release of the Model S, we wouldn't have a leg to stand on. But we've watched Elon put out another 2 models. And yeah, there were some rough patches to start. We've all seen it. But my betting money is on him. He will fix these issues. These issues will come out better as time goes along.
I'm not betting against him. But I also don't think that I need to rub Elon's back. I think I can be fair and I can point out when Elon bites it. And he's biting it hard here. And Tesla is. And they should be taking a task for it. The article correctly notes that all of those features not activated in what are probably $50,000 and $60,000 Model S's, you can get in a $15,000 Kia Rio.
That's rubbing salt in the wounds, isn't it?
But I mean, we're not talking about like esoteric features. We're not talking about autopilot. Even the emergency braking thing, I get that. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. We're talking about the radio. That's a serious mistake. Not because, oh my God, a car without a radio is undrivable, but because these are like basic functions that people come to expect in motor vehicles these days. And to ship a car, to say it's ready, and then not have this stuff be ready, and then announce that, well, maybe we're going to change infotainment center chip maker.
Well, you realize that with Tesla's rollout of this car, it's not like any other manufacturer that rolled out a car. The beta, the alpha didn't happen.
Right.
It's been given to the employees to be the guinea pigs.
And shame on Elon. Shame on Elon for that. For whipping ass on your employees and doing it. And I'm sure most of the employees are probably delighted to have the cars. And
I'm sure they are.
But I don't think you get away with bypassing major parts of the production system so you can shit on your employees in hopes to have it fixed by the time you start shipping to consumers.
Yeah, but it's not that he was trying to shit on his employees.
No, it's that he was trying to get by delivering, shipping this car before it was ready.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
You can put it that way. Yes.
My Model 3 reservations have been canceled. I don't know what to say. I mean, but I don't. If Ford did this, and we were on the other show that starts in like an hour and 15 minutes, we would kill all those bastards. But because it's pissed off, we're gonna go like, oh, it's okay. Elon's trying, and that's where I think we're a little, not we, but in general, the media is a little too fawning. And I think we can love Tesla and we can love what they're doing and support it with our money and our talk and our verbal support, social media, whatever. But we can also take them to task and go, but that means you have to deliver.
Yeah. That's called, fairness.
Yeah.
Somebody's been spending too much time with Ed Niedermeyer. That's all I got.
Thank you, Ed. We're talking about Ed and I having And here I am. I'm sort of defending Tesla. And, and here I am but I do like this stuff adds up to me. And again, it's not that I'm not worried about the 300 odd Tesla employees that own Model 3s, like, oh, they're getting ripped off or anything like that.
No.
You know what? They know what they signed up for. I get that.
Yeah.
But again, I remember a certain CEO talking for a long time about what his goals were and what they were going to do and how they were going to do it, and making, dare I say, commitments that have now just evaporated. Because he's not shipping a car, not if it has no infotainment system. You know, he's shipping a box with a motor and wheels.
No, it won't go. It won't go beyond employees. They won't let that happen.
No, of course. Well, I hope. Yeah. I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
But I guess you know what? Then maybe this shouldn't have been, hey, the car is shipped. The car is ready. Guess what? No, it isn't. This is the beta test, and that's fine. Then it'll ship next year sometime to consumers. And, you know, by then they'll have worked out the bugs.
Yeah, it's I guess it's inevitable that if you roll a car out and it's untested and you try to make it jump a step, you're going to run into some issues. And that's what we're hearing and seeing about in bits and pieces today.
Evan, is this whole show making you uncomfortable?
No, I don't have much to argue. I mean, I think, you know, it's growing pains and it's stuff they've got to get right. I've said that all along about the Model 3. They can't fuck this up.
Right.
And maybe they are fucking it up now. Maybe they're doing their damnedest to not fuck it up and are trying to make the best out of the circumstances. But yeah, look, the radio's got to work. I don't know. I don't think I can defend that. Well, with a straight face.
I got nothing. I'm content to let that go. Anything else, kids?
I think that's about what we got this week.
That's about what we got. Well, let's do some shout-outs and go home then, because we've had a successful show. Evan, you want anything to?
Nah.
Nah. Okay.
That's a great plug.
I love that plug. How about you?
I wanted to thank everyone that has signed up recently to our Twitter feed at the Tesla Life. We are just 6 short of 2,000 followers. So please, the 6 that are out there, come on, join in. We'll see who's going to be number 2,000.
At the Tesla Life?
At the Tesla Life. Join today.
Yes.
Also, if you would like, you can also view us on our Facebook page, which is the Tesla Life #1, and join in through the week and see extra information as we're adding it and getting ready for next week's show.
Absolutely. That's all I got. Search us on YouTube. Look for the Tesla Life Show. Look for our cherry red logo. You'll notice us. Subscribe. You will automatically be notified whenever we're broadcasting, even if my feed goes down temporarily.
As you attempted today.
Yeah, I thought I could just go take a nap or something, but that's okay. Our thanks, as always, to Lee Moon, the man who composed and performed our theme music. Thank you very much to Lee. I want to thank Evan and Mark for coming on. I want to beg Elon not to cancel Evan's orders just because I'm okay. Elon, I don't know how you're going to get back at me, buddy, but
no, it's all good.
Send me a Model 3 with no radio. That'll teach me. I am so going to get my ass kicked.
Sarcastic bastard, you.
Yeah. Thank you. Russell, sarcastic bastard Frost says, I want to thank all of you for tuning in and watching the show or listening. We will see you next week when you can find out what's new and exciting in the Tesla Life.